In the past 2 years, we have witnessed the rebirth of San Jose.
If you look at downtown revitalization anywhere in other cities, you find that the best results come about from a good private sector, public sector partnership, and that's what we have now.
What we have now is really more than just partnership.
Soul to all. It all has a real feeling of community. Hey, it's a neighborhood. It's a big neighborhood, but it's a neighborhood.
From an artist at his studio to the cop at his beat, it's changed in a big way. The transformation is almost complete. What was only a vision has become a reality. The dream of a new downtown is as real as concrete and steel.
I think if we sat around and did nothing, a lot of good things would happen downtown, but we don't have time to wait for 20 or 30 years.
From new marble on a luxury high-rise to a new face for a piece of history.
We started our business in 1945. We were looking for a nice place to live, and we decided that San Jose was the place to live. And as I say, it seemed like a family town more than just strictly a commercial town.
And it was a family town. In the 20s and beyond, it was the kind of place that drew a crowd. Wide boulevards jammed with Model Ts. San Jose was, in fact, a bright spot on the horizon. The old Vendome Hotel was being run by Tom McHenry's dad. The trained Alum Rock Park was loaded each weekend with picnickers. The city was jumping because this truly was the Valley of Heart's Delight. Apricots lined the ground, and promise, it seemed, was everywhere. But the promise faded, and the parade finally headed out of town, the automobile leading the way. Gradually, San Jose became a shadow of its former self, down on its luck and down for the count. It was the darkest time in our city's history. Abandoned, with a new, dangerous image, the family town had become a slum.
The decline happened, as I said, when the Harts and Hales and some of the other department stores started moving out, and then they started tearing down the Crocker Bank building and tore out Cresses and places like that, and it left the town almost like it had been hit with a bomb.
It was, in fact, a war zone downtown, but the battle had been lost, the battle of the shopping center.
Macy's was supposed to go downtown. One landowner held out, and Macy's went out to a regional shopping center. The regional shopping centers that were subsequently established really were the death knell of downtown.
I remember the very recent past, about 10 years ago, when you had no problems driving around downtown San Jose. You could park anywhere you wanted because there wasn't anything to do, and there was no vitality down there whatsoever.
The freeway to nowhere was the city's image. Even City Hall decided that the best place to be was out of downtown. The Mercury News, likewise, pulled up stakes, building a new plant several miles away. The skyline got awfully low, and it turned out that there was a lot more going down than was going up in San Jose. Pieces of our past gave way to the lowest common denominator, the parking lot. But on the third try, redevelopment finally caught on. And in the 80s, San Jose began a long journey toward recovery.
A city is being built virtually right before our eyes after more than a decade of planning and hoping.
A massive infusion of money. That's what it took. And in the early going, it looked like there was more hoping than there was planning. The merchants hoping it would end soon. The only way to get around was four-wheel drive.
This has always been a good place for a city. I'm glad finally someone is building one here now.
That was really a thrill to hear that San Jose was going to be rebuilt again. It was something that we looked forward to at that time with anticipation. We figured it would probably be about 2 years and we would have our city back in shape again. Unfortunately, it was a great deal more severe than we had anticipated, and I think than all of the merchants anticipated, because they were digging up the streets. People couldn't get in. The girls couldn't wear their high shoes. People were captive in the office buildings. They couldn't get out to do their shopping. If they could, they didn't, because they didn't want to fight all of the barricades that were in town.
How far down do you go before you throw in the towel? You know. All of us are thinking the same thing. You've got about 3 or 4 stores that are chains. They can afford to lock up the doors and come back again when it's all finished. They can pay the rent. I can't pay the rent and leave.
Well, I understand in construction that there are things that'll happen, but this is a 3-year project for 3 years, and I'll do my best to make it. And I won't make it, there'll be another sign in front that says we quit.
Business owners here say they'll survive the financial beating they're taking this Christmas, but what they're not sure of is if they'll even be here to enjoy the Transit Mall once it's completed within the next 2 years. In San Jose, Cheryl Hurd, KICU, TV 36 News.
Back in the summer of '86, the sidewalks were torn up, the streets had barricades in them, and a lot of people in the small business community were having a really rough go of things. And Ray Rodriguez, a freelance photographer, came into my office at Metro and said, why don't we start a group to help the small businesses deal with the city and fast-track items? And I said, Ray, what we need is a downtown association. For me as a business owner, it was kind of shocking that there was no association, and that prompted us to go out and organize one.
Despite all the short-term disruption, there was an overwhelmingly positive message which had to get out about what was happening downtown.
First, we met with Tom McHenry, and he encouraged us to go ahead and form the association. And then the work was up to us to go out there and organize the business community, sign up members. We had very good luck signing up members. Everybody immediately saw the need. In fact, people would say, why wasn't this done before? Some of the old-timers at first resisted the idea, but I think they came around when they saw that we were getting results done, that the city was listening to us, and that the Downtown Association was having an impact.
But the city could listen best if it was hearing one voice loud and clear. Consensus would only come after long hours of meetings. Individual business interests had to give way to a clearly defined but common goal. No easy task. But the hard feelings of the past gradually faded in the face of hard work.
People wanted to be a part of it when we started holding the festivals, and for the first time we were really able to demonstrate what a downtown association could do.
From hard times to high times, a great taste of things to come.
I think on the Sunday that we had the Doobie Brothers, we had an estimated crowd of 35,000, which was conservative. It may have been 55, 60. It's pretty hard to count heads. I think the Great Taste did a lot to break down people's perceptions and preconceived ideas of what constituted downtown, the downtown population.
For one glorious weekend, people who hadn't been downtown in years or ever were suddenly sharing the same idea. There was something happening in the center of our city. San Jose was indeed a city that was on the move.
And then we went back and repeated it 3 months later with Destination Downtown, which was great.
San Jose is celebrating tonight, a celebration of progress towards its rebirth as the focal point of the Santa Clara Valley.
The most important thing is people are coming downtown and discovering the history and culture and continuity that we have with this downtown that have never been here before, and I think it's a remarkable thing.
Well, you wanted to see action and noise downtown after dark, and you got it tonight.
I've got more than I can handle.
All right, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Burr.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
San Jose has never looked better. The Transit.
Happy New Year, everybody.
San Jose, California, where they had an incredible event.
I think too often we get the feeling in our community that everything's divided, that there's special interest groups, there's factions, there's this economic group and this economic group. And what happens, the funniest thing, you put them all in one small space, and what happens is they all end up shoulder to shoulder enjoying the event and having a good time.
While there may be divergent interests and different cultures, we all share one goal, the desire for success, to make this place unique. It is at the same time centuries old and brand spanking new.
The 21st century combined with the ethnic groups that they contribute will be beautiful, I think.
It was very important that the Downtown Association benefited everyone downtown, that it wasn't benefiting one sector over another. We really wanted to be the association of everyone.
The answer was an association board, which was representative of all the diverse interests downtown.
The kinds of services that the Downtown Association is providing is something that the government, i.e. the city, can't do. I mean, I see the association as sort of my eyes and ears as to what's going on downtown and what the city needs to be doing to work with the people in the center city to make it even more successful.
The key to that success? A business improvement district. The city council giving the force and effect of law to what had been an ad hoc organization.
We've got the physical facilities that have been put in, but we needed something to promote them, to advertise them, and to bring people downtown. The Business Improvement District was the mechanism to do that.
Speaking with one voice, sending out a vital message that the spirit of San Jose is alive, that downtown has come back brighter than ever, and that it's time the people come back too.
They built a beautiful city, and now it's up to the business community to put life into it.
You know, Roger, I've always